This is Just in Case of American Newscape, sharing our favorite comedic writers' latest endeavor. Lily and Timmy go back to school. Please welcome back Jacob Horn and his co-writer Mike Farrell. Hello, Mike. Hello, Jake. Welcome back to American Newscape.
Hello,
Justin,
sir. How you doing?
We're doing good. We've got some exciting stuff to go over today, but why don't we fill the viewers who didn't catch our first two podcasts together in on what you two are up to? We can get them up to speed like a TV show. Last time on Days of Our Lives. You guys know the drill.
Yeah, so for people that don't know what we did or didn't catch the last two interviews, we wrote a children's book back in March that Jake is holding right there, Lily and Timmy's super awesome, incredible COVID-19 B-Day. And this book was pretty popular. We were pretty satisfied with the results and how much people dug the book, both parents and children alike. They really ate up the book. They really dug our sense of humor. And yeah, I think that we've got exciting news.
We keep convincing ourselves that they dig our sense of humor.
Well, we go out of our ways to explain that to you. So why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we know that your first book is a hit, you're hit authors. Who would have ever imagined? Give us the exciting news.
I mean, we definitely wouldn't have imagined that we would be hit authors, as you say. So going off of that, we did the first book, and about a month ago, we said, I think we need to do a second book, do a follow-up with Lily and Timmy. And it only made sense that they're locked in, they're in lockdown, they're in quarantine with COVID-19. What is happening with all children coming up in late August and September is they have to go back to school. So this is Lily and Timmy Go Back to School. And I don't want to give a whole lot away, but we've added some new characters in the story, in the world, in the Lily and Timmy world. And the dad kind of takes over as the lead role, the lead caretaker in this story, while the mom is having to work and make money and support the family. The jobless dad he's the comic relief again, like the first book. He's the comic relief, but he does come in and in words, he saves the day. But I don't want to give anything away. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to.
Would we liken him to Gomer Pyle? Does he say cool things like Shazam?
He doesn't have any catchphrases yet. We need to develop a catchphrase from him. He's done just about everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. And they can only find.
Like it.
Hey, where can I find this book anywhere but Amazon?
That's it. Amazon.
Yeah.
So anybody that's watching this right now, we are exclusively Amazon. You can find the paperback or the ebook. Super easy to find. Once you start typing in Lily and Timmy, Amazon knows us pretty well. They will start filling in the rest.
Well, cool.
They know us pretty well. No big deal.
And you guys
people love Lily and Timmy.
And you're shooting up the charts.
Yeah.
Huh? How did the second?
We are.
Yeah. How did the second book happen? Did you guys have the second book planned when you wrote the first book?
Do you want me to take this, Mike?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we had a second and we do have a third book planned. We didn't know what the concept or the story was for the second book, and it along like how it happened with the first book. We kind of just started writing a story, and then we looked at what we were doing. That's kind of how it was with the second book. We had come up with a few ideas, and then Mike actually was like, dude, we are missing the perfect concept. And I'm like, well, what is that? And he's like, well, what are kids going to have to do in the next 2 months? And he's like, they're going to have to go back to school. So we just bring our zany humor into the world of these kids having to go back to school. And, we we have a few zany ideas of like, I don't know if that's what's going to be going on with the schools, but it makes us laugh, and hopefully it makes everybody else laugh. So that's all we're really looking for, is letting everybody kind of escape reality again for a little bit.
Yeah, the beauty of laughter. I mean, it can be a wonderful escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Truthfully.
that you touched on a brief rundown. Can you share anything else that is going to inspire us to fill our collection? So we have Timmy and Lily too.
To inspire you, I think that this book, with everything that people have come accustomed to with COVID, they're really going to enjoy some of the COVID humor, because we've got sanitation stations, barriers between the kids' desks, temperature checks, and our favorite secondary, like, side characters are these health and safety minions that walk around in these COVID suits everywhere, making sure that the children are hand sanitized, making sure that there's no item from the outside world that's inside the school. This is a very draconian school. They take it pretty seriously.
Okay. All righty. So, Jake has touched on that you've added some characters between the first and the second book. Does the book have the same Mike and Jake humor? How could it not? And excuse me, I hate to interrupt you, but it just dawned on me when Dr. Seuss was writing his books, and I was a runny-nosed little child waiting for my Dr. Seuss book to come in the mail. He was off taking his hallucinogenics and writing his book, and it just happened to be funny. But you guys are out there. You're on TV. You're on social media. You're interacting with your fans. What a wonderful resource. I mean, you guys have no excuse. You should be able to write 100 of these books. And I think that I will enjoy the 100th one as much as the first one, but I digress. Okay. So the humor's there.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Justin, I can't do anything now but picture Dr. Seuss taking acid.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was LSD, but acid, okay. Well,
Which Justin, I think that if we did that before the third book, it would be a whole different blend of Mike and Jake humor.
well, it might be.
A significantly different style book, I imagine, but we'll see.
It might
Let's
be.
do it. Why not?
Well, it might be stink, stank, stunk.
Yeah, truthfully.
You guys are onto your niche. I mean, you've got it wired. So, okay. Now, I hate to be involved in this, but we're going to play a game here. I have images that you guys sent me of the book. I'm going to put the images up on the screen, and I'm going to tell the audience what's really going on this image. And then you guys are going to be kind enough to correct me. So
Okay,
here we go.
Let's do it.
This
Let me
is
get on the side.
This is an illustration from the book, and this is what the people can
Am
anticipate.
I this side?
You gotta go that side, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, go, or Justin, go for it.
I don't know. I mean, we've got the kids. We've got the kids in there. The angry child is not the one being abused, or that might be mom, but she's in the front hanging out the window. The other two children are being hit with, I'm guessing, some sort of antiseptic ball, or I just don't know what's going on, but it is indeed funny. And then I'm struck with, Dad is color coordinated because those cool shoelaces he's got on there. So basically, this is all about Dad's cool shoelaces, and it tells you how cool he is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's all about the shoelaces. So that's Dad's social distancing belt that he created to keep people at bay. And as you can see, it's kind of backfired on him a little bit. And Mom isn't too happy because she's got to get the kids to school.
Yeah, Mom doesn't look any too happy in the front seat.
Mom's not happy.
Mom's not happy. But, you know, you look at the illustration, there's so much going on. I mean, it's not a typical book. You've got a lot going on there.
There's a little gem
No,
in there, Justin, on the front seat, or in the middle of the back seat. There's two dolls that were actually in our first book. So we put a little Easter egg in there for our readers.
Is there a prize?
Only if they email us and ask us for money is there a prize.
Okay, well,
yeah,
you know,
respect, I guess.
Respect. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
I think you deserve that. Okay. Here we go.
All right, Jake, you explain the next one, Jake.
Okay.
Or actually,
here it is.
This is frightening, and this is what we're experiencing. You know, we've got looks like the two kids are staring into infrared thermometers of some sort, and Dad's up there. I don't know what Dad's doing. He has no expression. He's like
already
confused.
been dropped off.
Oh, that's Mom. Now she's driving. When did they switch seats? Okay, Dad's got curly hair.
When did they switch seats? I think in the other picture, Mom had to come over to the other chair just to tell Dad, "What are you doing? What are you doing with your measuring tape belt?" So this one is actually right after the other one. So they get to school. This is their first day of first grade. They get to school, and as Mike was saying, the minions, they're going around and they're making sure that all kids are hand sanitized. They're making sure that all their temperatures are correct. So, and of course, the kids had no idea this was going on, and neither did the mom. So when they show up and they have all these volunteer minions going around, it's very ET-esque, you know, with the like hazmat suit style volunteer things that they're wearing. But yeah, so they're just making sure all the kids have no coronavirus before they come into the classroom here. And you can clearly see by Mom's face, she had no idea that this was going on.
Well, you're being subtle. These minions, you know, they're apparently stormtroopers. Is Darth Vader going to make an appearance?
Of course.
No, I like that. They're depicted very well.
I think it's three pages later, they all pull out lightsabers and they fight each other in the street.
Well, good.
That's the Justin. That's the acid version. That's the acid version.
That's the Dr. Seuss version.
Dr. Seuss, yeah.
Yeah, the SpongeBob SquarePants version.
Send all legal inquiries to just in case.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is a great one. Okay, Justin, you go for it, and I'll correct you.
Well, that's Mom dropping the kids off to the classroom, and the teacher, it's I don't know. You know, he looks dapper. He's got the haircut. I don't know where he got his haircut. He couldn't have gotten it in Southern California, and then there's all kinds of things going on here. He's writing his name on the board, and on the board something's hanging. It's like a test. It's like a maze. You know, what's the difference in these panels? And the kids don't look too happy. You know, I see the kids are kind of not reacting positively in the classroom to this dapper dandy, let's call him dapper dandy teacher in his purple smoking jacket. Is that correct? Is that indeed a smoking jacket?
I guess it could be. I don't think that he smokes, but yes, he is a model first, a teacher second. Let's put it that way.
Okay, he gave himself away. But what else?
So I think you're pretty close here. I think that as you mentioned, the kids they're not too thrilled. They just got the class. The students there, they didn't realize that they would have the dividers in the classroom, the sanitation stations that you can see, and it's just not the vibe that they thought. Like, they've been cooped up at the house like all summer break, and they wanted to play with their friends, and it's not quite what they expected in their first day of first grade.
First grade cubicles. How sad.
First grade cubicles.
Okay, let's hit this next one. All right. I guess I don't know. This is Dad getting ready to play basketball with his antifungal, anti-germal, everything he needs to protect himself from the world at large, and he's cleaning his basketball. I don't know if that is significant. That probably signifies something I'm not bright enough to put together, but that's a little... They're spraying each other, I think.
Justin, you're pretty spot on right there. This is Dad with his friend, who's also a news anchor, you see in the first book. But yeah, and they're actually playing in his backyard, so they're not playing in a gym or some actually cool court. They're playing in his backyard. And of course, Dad is hand sanitizing everything he can, and he's getting sprayed. Yeah, I mean, and that's classic Dad. Now this is when Dad starts getting into. I don't want to give the conversation away because that will give a lot of the story away. But they're having a very deep conversation together right here.
Well, I can tell because of his mustache. He looks serious. He looks very serious.
It's all about the mustache, Justin.
And his eyebrows, I believe, are raised because he can't believe what Dad is indeed telling him. Okay.
Very true.
Okay, one more panel.
Yeah.
This is sad. Mom's waving to the kids. She's anxious they're back. We got stormtroopers on the crosswalks reminding the children to keep their distance. And the crossing guard is, I don't know, he's stopping traffic. Daughter's concerned about the crossing guard. And the son is he's just concerned altogether. And Mom is not fazed by any of it.
So I think that you're right. I think that you nailed everything. I think that at this point in the story, Mom doesn't realize that the children didn't have the first day of school that they were anticipating. So the mom is kind of excited. She can't see their expressions underneath the masks. But once the kids get in the car, she's going to have to put on her mom hat and figure out how to console them, or maybe another character will need to console them. But yeah, they didn't have the first day of school that they wanted. And like all of our books, like we start out with a little bit of realism, and then we drive the story home in the second half of the book and find a way to make everybody happy. So this is just a little bit more of that COVID imagery.
Well, and Mom certainly... Go ahead.
I have a question here, actually, about our own book. So, does Mom have one of those electrical cars that she can press a button to open the back door, or does she drive around with the back door open?
I think it's our version of a Honda Odyssey, like
Honda Odyssey.
No, it's a Ted and Lily Lamborghini.
Yeah, this is the not get sued car that we've made up a name for. Yeah.
Well, the other thing that's evident, and I don't know why your illustrator didn't let you in on this, but Mom certainly feels an entitled role in this story and in the world. Notice she parked between the two crosswalks.
Yeah.
Just parked there.
Like, who does that? Who parks in the middle of the crosswalks?
And they've stopped traffic, so there must be oncoming traffic in the other direction. I believe this is an intersection. And maybe that's who she's waving to.
It's pretty careless, Justin. It's pretty careless, actually. This mom.
And why are there two crosswalks when it seems to be a one-lane road?
Well, because I can answer. Yeah, well, that's a good question too. But they have a lot of stormtroopers that they have to put back to work.
Well, I mean,
that's true.
Look how close the sidewalk on the right is to the lane that's right there. I mean, there's no car that can fit in that lane. It's impossible.
That's the pedestrian. It's the pedestrian or the cycling lane. It's the cycling lane.
Motorcycle lane. It's a big motorcycle town, so they've created motorcycle lanes.
This panel doesn't answer anything. It only confuses us more. Okay.
That's what we do best, Justin. We confuse people.
Yeah, you confuse us simple-minded people. But I'm concerned.
we just tear apart our own illustrations on this show, Jake. Our illustrator Federico is going to hate us.
No, that's
we're basically we're convincing everybody to not buy this book.
Not
right
at
now.
all. What it is these are like works of art. You could put them up on the wall, and 20 people would have different interpretations of it.
Exactly. This is a Van Gogh book.
Van Gogh would be proud to have illustrated this book.
He would be.
Okay.
He would be.
Hey.
Hopefully he'd be on Act 2 with Dr. Seuss.
Okay. The book just came out. We know how successful the last book was. What was your hopes for this book?
Do you want me to take this, Mike? You want to take it?
Yeah. Why don't you go for it?
I mean, first and foremost, we always say it, and we're not saying it to be like, oh, we're so cool with it. It's like we truthfully are writing these books to give people just a little escape from what's happening, because they give us a little escape of what's happening. You know, we've written the book and we've read the book and looked at the illustrations 1,000 times, and we never get tired of it, because it does take us out of what's happening in the rest of the world right now. So that at the end of the day, that's all we're really trying to do is give these children and their parents and their grandparents and their family just a little time that they can kind of all share a laugh together and escape the madness that is ensuing outside of the walls, you know?
Well, they're therapeutic to write, and they're very, let's say, comforting to read.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we're trying to do. That's
Okay.
all we're trying to do.
Okay, now you've written the second book. What's next? Is a third in the works, which you kind of inferred to. When are you going to get this thing on television? And more importantly, when and where is my casting call?
The casting call, I don't know if we can meet your ask, Justin. I think that our people are still talking to your people, trying to get you to come down on the price. So if you can come down off that $20 million price tag.
You're expensive, Justin.
Yeah, well,
You're
I am.
Expensive man.
And that percentage. Okay.
It's hefty. 75% of the gross is pretty hefty, Justin.
Tom Cruise, I'm not. I can't afford 75% of the gross when you stop to think about it. Okay.
That's true.
No, but there is a television show in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah. So to answer your question, so we will be doing a third book. We still have to figure out what it's going to be about. And then we've got a couple of really strong fits that we think would work well for the book. We think that Disney Plus and Nickelodeon would be the two best fits for this type of a story. And we'd love to do it as a TV show, maybe as a film. But we've got a couple of connections at both of these different places, and I think that that's like the long-term goal. But our journey really doesn't start until the second book, until we actually get a hold of it, because we're going to take. We still don't have a copy of it. We need to order it, but we're going to take the first book and the second book and use that as our pitch material and get that to the networks and see what they think of it.
Well, that'll be predicated on how popular these books are. So we need to get out there and buy these books.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So are we clear? Is everybody clear? For me to have a chance at casting, you guys need to buy these books. So
they got to buy it. Go to Amazon.com, pick up a copy. I love the paperbacks. The paperbacks are big, beautiful, really easy to read to children, because these are 14-point font, so it's really good to like hold away, like have a couple of kids around you and read it. And then the illustrations, I just like having something to hold. I've always been like a paper book type person. Forgive me for not being green on that, but I've always just loved interacting with the book. But the ebook is also available as well if people have like a Kindle or an iPad or something like that.
Well, and while they're there, they can pick up both books. If you didn't read the first book, grab the first book, grab the second book. You're going to entertain your family for a period of time, and you're going to be glad you've got them on the shelf, because hopefully 20 years from now or 40 years from now, your grandchildren are going to go, what the heck was this? And you can tell them the story. Yeah. You can tell them the story. Okay.
Yeah, come grab these books and support, Justin Case's journey to an Oscar
to a
nominee.
Real career. To a real career.
To a real
Send Justin Case to Hollywood. That'll teach him. Okay. Hey,
that's the third book. That's the third book right there.
Yeah. That's number 3.
There it is.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. This has been Justin Case of American Newscape, Jacob Horn, and his co-writer, Mike Farrell, sharing a glimpse into the book that I'm kind of anxious to read, Lily and Timmy Go Back to School. Thanks for joining us. Please remember additional information and links are provided in the videos Read More. Plus, please consider subscribing to this channel. And stand back. We're not sure how much bigger this channel is going to get.